My name is Ronald. Ayimbisibwe. I bring you greetings from Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and I also bring you greetings from my wife. I actually have been a bit late because she had refused me to come because it is her day. But after negotiations, she said, no, since you are going to meet ladies, you go, but very fast you should be here. So I'm here to talk about standardization, product standardization, system standardization, and anything of that sort. Now, UNBS is a government of Uganda institution. But what we do work of God. Are we together there? The work of God is to help you achieve your dream. To help you meet what you ought to meet in life. If you go to Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, actually God says what? Let us create man in our own image, and then he should do what? Have dominion over the what? Over the earth. Meaning that there is something God has put in us that we must put out, and others should actually benefit from it. For those who are making chapatis there, and those who are making cosmetics somewhere else there, probably that is your purpose God has created you to do. All we do as UNBS is tell you how your product come out and then be acceptable in the market, and you are able to be competitive, and then you grow and touch many other lives. That's what we do basically. But in that one, many people do not know. That even in Genesis 1:28, God gives us how you can have dominion over the earth. It says actually, be fruitful, multiply, blah, 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 blah. Now, each one of us, there is something we can offer to the world. And that is the seed that is within us that must come out. As ladies gathered here this afternoon, each one of you, you have a seed that you must look for to come out, and then you utilize it. That's the purpose for what God has created you. Now, what standards do is ensure that there is consistency across. That what you are doing today is what you will be doing tomorrow, and the other day, and the other day, and the other day. Think of this. You are making bread, and today it is sweet, tomorrow it is salty, the other day there is some perfume, and the other day there is something else. Would that bread be a dream for everybody to consume? Of course not. So what we do, we set standards. No, we do not set standards, but you who are in that area participate with UNBS as a secretariat to have standards in place. The acceptable criteria of how a process, a product, or a service should be presented on the market. My former ED doctor talked about labeling. For example, all of us have phones, isn't it? Which phone brand do you hold? Someone will say, I'm holding HTC and Samsung. Why do you think those guys label it that way? It's not that they love you so much, you as a consumer of the product. They do not, but they love themselves. They protect their name through their brand. That before this phone comes out of the process, it is checked to ensure that it meets their requirement as a company, it meets the international requirement, and it is acceptable. So if you are making a product, ensure that it actually sells you. It should be your product to sell you. Because most of us who are producing something, we do not know our consumers. So the consumers get in touch with the product before they are actually known to us. So the onus is upon you to ensure that you have your product to meet those requirements. But what are these requirements? For you to know these requirements, you need to know or access the product standards, the applicable product standards. And now you have smartphones, internet is everywhere. like 25,000, 30,000, and that is not so expensive for one of us here. Because our dream is to meet that requirement. Now, that standard, that is the Uganda standard, East African standard, is just setting the minimum requirement that your product should be having these characteristics. But for you, you can go over and above that standard and make the best. That's now the quality part. The standard will specifically be more interested in the safety part. Then you can up the game to be competitive and make the standard make you stand out of the many. Now, how can this happen? For you to show that yes, my product stands out of the many. Number one is who knows your product? Who knows it? For me, I cannot find any product anywhere and I start consuming. I will first ask the question, where does it come from? Who has had a hand at it or a look at it before I can consume? That is where UNBS certification comes in. The law of certification states that nobody shall produce, be in possession, or put on market any product for which mandatory standards have been declared and the product does not have a quality certification mark. So if you know that you are having a product which is processed and does not have a quality mark and it's on the market, you are breaking the law. And now the processes have been simplified other than a couple of years ago where you would have a document of about 30 pages. Now you just go online, you will find there a link, apply for distinctive mark, you create an account within 30 minutes, 1 hour, you have created an account and applied, and then you wait for a bill. This application is what? Number one, you must be a legal entity, a business which is registered, and a business which has a TIN number. The TIN number may actually be a business name, not a company. A business name can also work. But the TIN number must be linked to that name, that business name. And then you go ahead and apply. But when you apply, you must give us a label to show that this is what you are doing. And then you also give us a process through which you actually do your product. Then our technical officers will receive the application, review it, and get back to you. Then guide you on how to go over it. This is a very simple thing. You can even do it on your phone there. And if you want to, for those who have Android phones, you can install a UNBS app. It should be able to give you all the necessary information, including how to purchase a standard, how to do application, how all that is required in import inspection, and all that UNBS app. And you can download it from anywhere because you only need the internet. But again, there are those who are not doing a product. They don't have a specific product, but they have a service. Here, you are saying, I do my work this way. Maybe you are in the transport sector, or hotel, or whatever, and you cannot have a tangible product. We have a process of system certification. We certify you as a system, how you do your activities based on the system interactions. And we base that on quality management system or environmental management system, depending on which certification you want. The food safety management system is really a lot. And in there, what we already need, or what the standard requires you of, is you are interested in customer satisfaction. First of all, know who are your customers, and then you come back and say, my processes should be linked to each other to ensure that the customer satisfaction is obtained. And to do that, you need to be within the laws of the country, within the hygienic minimum requirements, and all other stipulated requirements of that process. All what certification does is tell me what you do, and then show me. When we come to evaluate how we are doing all these sorts of things, we shall engage in a discussion. Please tell me what you do. Then you will tell a story, then say, are you sure you do what you have told me? You say, yes, I do. Then we shall say, show me. is now the documentation. The biggest challenge we have within the micro, small, and medium enterprises is documentation. Someone wakes up in the morning, was maybe in the streets of Guru or Arua, and sees someone making chapati or juice or something there. You copy what you have seen they are doing, and you're not sure, then you come and domesticate it here, and then you don't know what to document. But as Dr. Akasi said, you need to tell the story from the time you receive your raw materials. What the considerations did you make? Supposing the raw materials were defective. Then after raw materials, how are you storing them? What are the considerations in there? Then you go to processing. What equipment are you using and what controls are you making in the processing? And then you go to the final product. All the simple 3 stages. Final product, how do you ensure that the product remains safe? For example, in between, if there is a heating stage, like I'm seeing there, people making chapati, there is a heating stage. We assume it will take care of the germs and so on. But how about after that stage? Then there are also processes where you don't do the heating, like you're making flour. How do you ensure that there is that consistency? Standards is about what you say today should be what you say tomorrow and what you say the other day. What your product says today, it should be what you say tomorrow and so on and all the days to come. So after we have ascertained that your processes, they are controlled appropriately, then we shall put our hand and say, yes, we have seen, we have tested. We shall pick a sample from your processes and take to the lab and test. If the sample passes the requirement of the standard that was set and the labeling, the declaration is okay. For example, for those of you who are having, say, some products on your tables, you cannot know what is in your product unless you read there. You cannot tell. You can say it is water, maybe it is paraffin. So what is declared on the product is what the standard we shall consider. And some people, for example, have allergens. I'm allergic to some products. For example, I may not be taking milk or soya or whatever, or sweet or sugar. You should declare it there that this is what is in this product, the ingredients. That if I am prohibited from taking soybean or soya products or milk products, then I should not put my life in danger by taking it when you have not declared. So that is a requirement that is written in the standard. So make sure you acquire the product standard before you actually go ahead to produce, to know what you are supposed to be doing. Then once you have fulfilled all those requirements, we shall put our hand and say, yes, we have seen, we have verified, we have checked, and all is well. We put a stamp and they are good to go. Now, if someone meets it on the market, they will first ask, who has seen this? Who makes it and who has seen it? When they find there that UNBS logo, they'll say, yes. And this UNBS has done what? Has seen it, and it stands in the gap between the producer and the consumer, ensuring that the product is safe. Now, someone will get the confidence, someone will be convinced that yes, this product is safe and this business is actually dependable. What does that mean? That you will get market of your product without even going too much to market it. Naturally, UNBS has done it for you. And right now, the law, including the suppliers of schools, the law is that if you are not certified, you cannot supply any government project or government entity. Now, all schools have been grouped under government, and you cannot be able to supply any food, including flour, the Rwanda, the mandas, and so on, because of the safety requirement. What do you have to do to make yourself competitive? Look for the information. The Bible says, my people perish because of lack of information. And this information is there. It's available. So get the information. Where you have a challenge, you call on us. We have a toll-free line, 0800-133-133. I repeat it, 0800-133-133. They will give you the necessary information you may need, or which other numbers to call, where to go, and what to do. Now from there, once you have gotten your product certified, you will be competitive. You actually work with the head high. Now, this certification does not only stop in Uganda. Your product will freely access the East African community market, especially for products which lie under the East African standards harmonized. Now there, they will know that this standard that is applicable here is the same applicable to Rwanda, applicable to Kenya, Tanzania, and so on. So they will easily accept your product. But if you are not certified, you cannot actually cross the border. And initially, there has been a complaint that the certification process is expensive. To some extent, someone can say that, but once you have learned the reason why and the impact of certification, you will find it is very cheap. There is now a drive, it has started with cosmetics and other few products, where we do DTS, where you get a sticker for the units you are going to produce, and you pay a lot more cheaply. But again, even where we have not gone with DTS and you are accessing the quality mark, the cost is relatively cheaper. Why? Once you have done it as an SME, the cost of a standard will be the same, around total, maybe 100 total. Then the cost of testing will vary from product to product, but it cannot go beyond 1 million. The cheapest is 150. The expensive one is that one, 1 million. Then the use of the tumor, having the tumor on your product, including the permit, it is 500,000. And if you factor that into your costs of the year, you will find it is very cheap in regard to what it has contributed and how much you have paid for it. For example, somebody this is the Women's Day I've seen. Some of you are wearing hair which is very expensive than 100 million or 1 million. And you change your hair every month. Think of not changing the hair, or you got it as short as mine, and you have your product certified. You will have actually overcome that problem and you have marketed your product. For you to have dominion, what the Bible gives us, you must sacrifice to get that. But before you sacrifice to get that, you must find what seed is in you. You may find some of you are making maybe alcoholic beverages, but you are supposed to be something else. You are supposed to make frack. So find your niche, find your potential. And I want to thank Gudie Leisure Farm and Professor Gudie. That's really what you have done for these ladies. It is too much. I have been here several times doing engagement of this nature, even specific small groups. And they have tried to get the best out of you. Now the choice is yours. This is Women's Day, and I think that's why they have organized this event, so that you are able to find yourself. You are able to find what you can do better. People who are giving money, they will need you to have the documentation I'm talking about. Documentation about how you are spending, documentation about how your income is, how you are doing agriculture, and so on. And there's a lot of money in this economy, but this money we don't know. And the Bank of Uganda, a lot of money. And the Development Bank, a lot of money. And all other banks, there's a lot of money. But how do you get that money? You have to be organized. Just when I say the future belongs to the organized. We can come here and talk and accuse everybody else how everything is hard. But before you make an accusation, ask yourself, what have I done to myself, to the process, and for the government to make a difference? I want the same page. I don't want to spend a lot of time, because after all, my time is borrowed. Now someone is demanding their time. I need to go back and make some few pancakes. I tell lies that I have learned this from this side. I must lie. Although I don't know if I tell lies, I don't remember when I last lied, but this time of today I have to lie, because it's not my time. Thank you so much. Where you have challenges,